Mikey, tell me about. Wait, no, don't tell me. I'm gonna ask you. Have you ever had a paranormal experience?
Sometimes I think I see things,
Oh,
but it's just like a blur in the side of my eye, and it's gone.
it's not like the little fuzzies that like fly.
No, I don't have
as
floaters.
Yeah, floaters. There you
No
go.
floaters.
As you get older.
Thankfully.
Yeah, eat your vitamins. You won't get those floaters.
Is that how you get them?
No, it's like some kind of deficiency or some shit.
Oh, I thought it was like particles in your eyes.
Nah, I mean, I'm sure it's something in your eye, but those floaters are based off of like having some kind of deficiency. I don't know. I was like looking it up. So I don't know. There was research about something if you start eating certain things that it helps with it. So I'm guessing there's a deficiency of some
I
sort.
got to read that article.
Yeah, I'll look for it.
Maybe put it in the about
put
section.
it in the chat. Yeah, we'll see if we find it. Yes, paranormal. What have you got?
Really nothing. I mean, I like horror movies. I've never had a paranormal experience, and I kind of laugh at these shows where people go into haunted houses with their expensive ass equipment. They're like, "This thing's off the charts." What charts? What charts? There are no charts, right?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm not an expert in paranormal activity. Expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think those shows are not as interesting or as factual as we might want
Definitely
them to
not factual. Interesting,
Yeah.
you could argue, but factuality, definitely not.
So you haven't had any paranormal experiences per se?
No.
Well, I've had a particular one that really made me question. I've never not believed in something extra out there, maybe some spirits or stuff. Like, do I like hands down like, oh yeah, no, it exists? Like, no, I can't prove it. But I have had an experience where we used to go to one of my cousin's houses. A lot of the times her husband used to throw barbecues and show the boxing fights, and then we'd be over there quite a bit. I actually used to go to the middle school near there, and we put her house down as my my address so I could go to that school. So I would walk to her house, stay there, and then I get picked up later in the day.
Smart.
But I always got an uneasy feeling being there. I don't know why. It would happen constantly in different situations. I would get there and sit down, get on my laptop, or do some homework, and I always just felt a little uncomfortable. It's just that feeling. Never thought much of it, right? I was young. I think I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
Well, they had those in-law units, the ones that are in the back of the the backyard, stuff like that, where that's where her husband would host parties and stuff, and we'd always be in there, right? And so it's a little house, has a little hosting area, a little kitchen, bathroom, and a room, and so people would use the restroom there. And the way the restroom is set up, for context, is you walk in. To your left side, it's very narrow, it's small. To your left side is the sink and where you wash your hands. To the right side is the shower, and right in front of you is a toilet. And in the toilet, above it, there's a little window, small window with small curtains.
Feel like I'm there.
Okay, perfect. And again, for more context, outside of that window is just a fence. There's nothing there. There's like a little gap where you can squeeze through.
We talking chain link, wood?
Wooden fence, tall wooden fence. You can't even see over to the neighbors. So just a fence.
I'm back.
And it's very narrow through there. So it's not like someone can just mosey in and walk there casually, right? So anyways, as men, we stand up to pee. And you pee facing the window.
Toilet
right?
window.
Exactly. That's what it is. And every time I go and use the restroom there for whatever event, again, they had an easy feeling of something or someone was watching me. And it was strange, and I couldn't really put my finger on it, and I always just felt a little uneasy, right? So that just happened for a few years because we would go visit, and nothing came of it, right? Mm-hmm. Well, one day, my mom and I were talking random stuff, some stuff about Mexico and scary stories, and just we like to shoot the shit. And I brought up these feelings that I had when I used to go visit.
Okay.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Way to ruin the moment. I was in the zone. No, so tell me why she was like, it's really funny you say that. And I'm like, well, okay, what's this leading up to?
Mm-hmm.
Our cousin had told her things that she had experienced there.
So you weren't the only one.
So I wasn't the only one. And later on we come to find out that other people have felt, someone was watching them or weird in there. In
There's
the
a
whole
song for that too.
Yes, but let's not. So, she told me two things that are particular, and I can't, prove or not prove what they said. This is just what was told. One is when you walk into the living room, there's pretty much a couch, and then it's the living room, the TV, and her husband had a little bar area where he used to work. And I guess one time the husband was watching TV late or working late. I'm not sure. So he was sitting on the couch watching the TV, and to the left side where the bar is, there's a computer. And computer screen, old school computers with a big back. It was a while back. And I guess he's watching TV late, and he looks to the computer for some odd reason, and he sees the shadow of a man standing behind the couch. And so he freaks out, turned around, there was nobody there. But he says he saw the shadow of a man standing behind him. Like, he couldn't really tell his face or whatever, but it was just like some kind of human shadow, humanoid type shadow. So that was the first one, which I'm like, okay, he could have confused it. I honestly, when I hear like paranormal stuff or thing, I try to debunk it myself. I'm like, okay, what could it be a reflection? Could it have been a light? Something like that, right?
I'd like to ask, do you know for sure that the house wasn't rigged similar to Kevin's in Home Alone with the moving cardboard cutouts in the
just
windows?
Walking by and shit? Well, unfortunately, there is no window that could pass by on that
No
aspect.
way.
So there's just a figure of a man. There's a small window in the door, but even that's it was covered with like a little like linen hanging, some kind of drape. And so he saw the shadow like pretty much over his shoulder behind the couch. Yes. So that was one.
That's weird.
The second one.
Okay.
And again, I cannot prove or disprove what is about what I'm about to say is that my cousin told my mom that one night, middle of the night, their bed started rising.
No way.
Like, it might have been, I don't know what rising means. I don't know if it's like just you can touch the roof type thing.
Like the exorcism.
Or if it like shifted a little bit and it felt like they're like, oh dude, it feels like it's going up. What I'm saying? But I don't think that would be something that they necessarily want to lie about.
Want
it's like,
to lie about.
Or like it's just hard to like, oh, I made that up real quick, especially given the situation that had happened prior. Great. So then we had this conversation and we're just kind of going off because he also had a basement, like that was converted into a room. I think someone used to stay down there, but it was always really dark, and I always like just had bad vibes about it.
Basements are haunted. I actually have a follow-up story.
Ooh, perfect. Oh, you did. You do have something. Oh, perfect. And so, all that happened. Whatever. We talked about it. It was weird. Like we figured some kind of energy or something was there, right? Whatever. Couple years pass, and I think they were going to build something or do some plumbing, or I'm not sure what it was, but they were digging in the backyard to they call it thing. They found human remains in the backyard. Human remains,
you gotta
bones.
Sell the house and move.
Bones.
So they called the police, right?
So I'm not sure what happened after that. I don't know the full story. That's kind of where we got caught up. But I was kind of in shock because all these things that are going on, and then come to find out that there's actually like bones and stuff buried.
And that could
backyard.
be the source of the ghost.
Yeah, the spirit, the ghost, energy, whatever you want to call it.
The bad juju.
Yeah, that's probably the craziest paranormal experience I've personally, experienced. But yeah, let us know if you've ever had a personal experience with ghosts or spirits or the energies, or you're just scared shitless because you thought you saw something in the dark. Yeah. But you said you had a story.
Well, I'm all in favor of basements being haunted. Well, all in favor is probably not the right phrase. I don't want basements to be haunted, guys. But I do believe that a lot of them are haunted. Anyway, the last house I lived in had a basement. It was a nice basement. This man had seen the basement. We had TVs, couches. It was a pretty cool space. Pool table. Before I lived there, there was, another group of guys living there. There was some overlap where a few of them stayed, and they had stories. They had a guy living down there who went insane. This man, they're starting
You let me into that basement knowing there was an insane man that lived there at one point?
At one point, not anymore.
Still. Who knows what he did in there? He could have booby-trapped the place.
Well, that's the thing. So he started like getting easily agitated and things.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, the man started buying and stockpiling weapons.
Okay, let's be specific. What kind of weapons?
Guns.
Oh.
And I'm told that the guys grabbed all of his weapons, took them, threw the rest of his shit outside, locked him out of the house. The guy didn't have a key. And that was the end of it.
Huh.
Now, there's some serious questions on my end, like, how did he retaliate? What did they do with
how
the
many
guns?
How many rounds did he use on the house is the real question.
Yeah, did he keep a piece on him?
Oh man, those are sketch situations because you never would have thought that someone could be, just like you get surprised by seeing that because I'm sure they didn't mosey into his basement and like go through his stuff until he started acting funny and weird, and then they're like, all right, there's a little curiosity.
You had to go through the basement to get to the laundry room.
That's
the odds
true.
are they're just going to do their laundry, going through his room.
Caught a peek of something.
Looks like a piece.
Mm-hmm.
There's several pieces.
Pieces all
What
over
the
the place.
hell? So, I mean, no ghosts, I don't think. But
That's still a scary situation, especially not knowing what their mental state is or if it was digressing somehow. So, yeah, it's just, who knows? Like, he could just come home one day a little too pissed off at some life and then just like, and then game over for everybody there.
Or just too much time.
Then you really would have had a ghost story once you moved in.
Yeah, or too much time in online chat rooms. Go.
So the potential ghost house that you were gonna live in was stopped by the roommates. Great job for them taking the guns. I think that was the smartest play.
Mm-hmm.
You should not allow people that could put in danger your life in any way, shape, or form, even if that means kicking them out the house, taking the guns, and hopefully they reported it to police and just gave them the guns so that nobody had them. If you kept them, you better scratch off those serial numbers. But yeah, damn, I've never get put in a situation where I had to deal with some crazy shit like that.
Basement was cursed, I swear. Then, one of the next housemates had a couple friends move down there for a little while between houses. The one guy had a warrant out for his arrest, and
I do remember you telling me that
all the rent money went to his bail, so they were stuck down there for months. It was terrible. And then after they moved, the guy who invited them down there just started spending all of his time down there. He went crazy, trying to start fights with everyone in the house. He moves out. A couple of guys move into his room. Decide one of them's just going to move into the basement because they don't want to share a room. Not even the agreement.
A fucking free-for-all in there.
He goes crazy.
Yo, what?
He started developing anger issues, and after a fight with his girl one night, busted his door in half.
Hey, there might be something with that basement then. It's giving off some bad juju, you're right.
Do you think we could monetize this? I'm thinking tours, I'm thinking t-shirts.
Can we pad the walls first, just in case?
Ooh, what is
like
that
an
called?
insane asylum.
Yeah.
Like those crazy rooms, the white walls. I mean, we don't have to straight jacket them, but at least they have a padded wall, so if they want to go ape shit, they can at least they won't hurt themselves and they can't sue.
I think it would be good for insurance, too. Lower rates. For a great low rate you can save online, go to the General and save some time!
Not a sponsor.
I do like Shaquille O'Neal.
He's great in all those. I think that was a great cast for that. A lot of people could have been that person, but just him, like, big old Shaquille O'Neal with the little tiny general was just a good cast, I think. And he just kind of goes with it. Some of them are pretty tacky, but the tackiness is what makes it funny.
I do have one qualm to pick with Shaq, which was when he took over Papa John's and renamed the pepperoni pizza the Shaq-a-roni.
Hey.
How does that make any sense? You gotta know when to fold them. Know when to hold them.
This is how we started the video.
You
guys didn't see that part.
Know when to run.
And that point I'm walking away.
You better count your money.